All right, so this is basically a picture taken on the border as soon as I entered Uzbekistan from Kazakhstan, and this was the first city, which was called Andijan city. From there, just came across a camel, and now I'll give you a full brief description of everything. Hi guys, I'm in Kokand Palace. So just wanted to let you know that I've got this Uzbekistan geographically is a landlocked country between Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Afghanistan and Turkmenistan. Guys, I'll tell you a little bit more about the credit card situation here. No one accepts credit cards. This is purely a cash-based society. Make sure you bring all your cash with you, not in dollars, in some. You can use credit cards in the banks. There are a few banks who accept credit cards. Just go in any bank you want and ask them to give you the cash. So they will basically give you any from any credit card, MasterCard, Visa card, and they will convert. Of Khudayar Khan in Kokand. Khudayar Khan was a really interesting guy. He absolutely hated Russians, and when Russians came here, they blew up his palace. They blew up this whole thing again. His mom used to live here in a little hut after he died. Okay, Uzbekistan petrol situation is on all the forums you will see it is quite bad, but it's not as bad as they make it out to be. After 2016, any forums you read before 2016, before the previous president was here, yes, they're right. New thing is basically if you have a diesel car, you'll be okay. You can buy diesels pretty much anywhere. If not legally, then you can buy it illegally. Just go and ask people. Keep asking and you will eventually get it. Second thing, if you have a petrol car, make sure it's not 95. So premium unleaded car, you got no chance. You're not gonna find 95 here. Rest of the countries, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, no problems. I was buying it, I was using 95 but the car I have a Land Cruiser which runs on unleaded fuel only. So if on the car on the fuel lead it says unleaded fuel only, you'll be okay to run 91 on it. And if you have a 91 petrol, it's not easy like any other country. Every corner of the country they sell it, but it is possible. There is a lot of petrol stations. Just hang around, drive around the city for 10-15 minutes and you'll eventually come across a petrol station. Again, the key over here is to ask people. So if you are in Uzbekistan, try and visit the Fergana Valley. There are quite a lot of beautiful palaces and mosques to visit. Definitely worth it. And then when you do come to Tashkent, try and see this Soviet hotel. Quite an interesting building. It's called Hotel Uzbekistan, right in the center. And when it's really hot outside, there is an ice city where you can go and cool down. Oh guys, I'm inside the Juma Mosque, which is right behind the Chorsu Bazaar. It's air conditioned. That's the good thing, considering it's 40 degrees heat outside. And it's pretty cool actually. You know, they're kind of relaxed about it. You can wear whatever you want, go into the mosque, men, women. It's not like, you know, some of the other countries where women are not allowed in the mosque and all that. So feel free, just walk into the mosque. Just make sure you cover your head and don't have your legs and shoulders showing, just like in an Orthodox church, to be honest, but you're cool with that. Alright, so this is the inside of the Kukuldash Madrasa, which they call it, which is right behind the Chorsu Bazaar. It's really beautiful, loads of history to it. I read about it, some downstairs. It was made on the orders of some guy and all that. It was destroyed in the earthquake and it was rebuilt. Okay, so water. These guys are very sensitive with water. So if you go near their lakes, rivers, they don't like it because they have a shortage of water and they don't like people, you know, going there. So I did have one of those issues. Google Maps don't work in any of these countries, even if you have offline maps. So make sure you've done something about that. Hey guys, I'm in Tashkent, some mosque called Hazrat something. Basically, I'm not really too interested in the history of it. So if you're interested, read about it and you'll find out. Apparently, this is a beautiful place. A lot it's basically a complex of loads of different mosques together. And definitely worth visiting. For sure, you have to come here. But about Uzbekistan, credit cards, absolutely nobody takes any credit cards. So it's a cash only society. You can go into any bank, take the cards out, take the money out. They only got two types of cars apparently, only Chevrolets and Divos. The reason for that is because if you get an imported car like from Japan or Germany, you have to pay a lot of tax on it. and Chevrolet and Divos are made here, so that's why they're cheap. If you are a single woman who just want to travel around, beautiful city, amazing country, really safe. Nobody will bother you, to be honest. I've seen that by the way men actually react around women here, so I don't think you're gonna have any problems with that. I saw a lot of cyclists, in fact, coming from Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, China. They're cycling over here, so you shouldn't really have I'm in Tashkent, Henor Park, and I'm about to go racing, the go-karting, and I'll show you. That's the go-kart, that's the arena behind me. If you are here, it's definitely worth it. It's absolutely beautiful. It's like for the most fastest one, you can only pay like 12 quid, about $15. It's quite cheap for 10 minutes race, and I'm about to do one. I got my thingy bob balaclava, and I'm about to put a helmet on and go race. Hi guys, I'm in a town called Panjikant, which is in Tajikistan, and I've just come here, and there is apparently there's a prayer going on in the mosque inside, so I'm going to show you the prayer after this. And this is the minaret of the mosque. Really little beautiful little town. Not much is happening, but food, oh my god, it's worth trying the food over here. There's a cafe called Cafe Safina, which is a restaurant, Safina, and you got to try food over there. It's like awesome. If you had an opportunity, you're in Samarkand, you should definitely come to Panjikant. It's about a couple of hours from Samarkand in Uzbekistan. The border crossing is super simple, but you do need to get visa, which you can apply online. It's an e-visa system. I think you need to pay $50 to apply for the visa. You can apply online, you can get it pretty much straight away within a couple of days, I think. And they give you 45 days visa. I'm here just for a couple of days, but from here you can go to the mountains with the 7 lakes. They are absolutely amazing, so I'm going to do that tomorrow, so catch you there. So that was the prayer inside the mosque. This is the architecture of mosque from outside, which is in Tajikistan, Panjikant, as I said. That's mosque from the outside, and then there is a picture of from the border as you enter, and then this is the lakes driving. So I've from Panjikant, basically this is about 2-3 hours drive to 7 lakes. So behind me is the lake number 5, which has this kind of vertical in it where the water comes from all different directions. It goes in. This is lake number 5. Apparently there's a myth or a legend says that there was a guy, he had 7 daughters, and something happened to him, and they all cried and became the 7 lakes, and all lakes have different colors, and there are some local guys standing around here, so it's quite a beautiful place, worth visiting. All 7 lakes can easily be visited. If you are coming here, make sure you bring some sweets with you, probably a couple of kilos, and give it to the local kids who are walking around. It absolutely makes their day. Okay, so Bukhara, these pictures are taken in Bukhara. Bukhara is back in Uzbekistan now. Really interesting city, definitely worth visiting in the daytime and nighttime. If you're on a tight budget, try not to eat in the center of the city. Everything is very expensive. Try to walk out of the city a little bit, 10 minutes walk, and you can find the same quality of food about half the price. So if you are on a tight budget, that's just one little tip for that one. I'm in Khiva right now, which is near the Turkmenistan border. Getting into Turkmenistan is a right pain. I'm not going to attempt that, but you can apply for visa, transit visa, and you can get through there. Let's give you some useful information. These guys are very sensitive with their water, so if there is a water, lake or river, don't go near it. Because they don't like it, because the water is not, they don't have sufficient water in this country, and wherever there are, there's a lot of army around, and usually they don't like you taking pictures and stuff. Secondly, Google Maps do not work here, even if you have offline maps. That's the call for prayer from a mosque right behind me. If you want to get a SIM card, it's super simple to get SIM card. I recommend getting into any Beeline shop, and you get it there. Just go and simply with your passport. For about £3 you can get it registered. I just paid about £3 and I got myself registered, and for £3 I got for a month of 3 gigabytes. So that's more than. If you are in Uzbekistan and you're traveling and you're looking to buy souvenirs, definitely don't buy anything in Bukhara, because everything is pretty much 3 times the price. But if you are coming to Khiva, do buy over here. This is a lot more, at least 3 times cheaper, to be very honest. So you can buy it at a good price, reasonable price. All the souvenirs, everything pretty much is also available. Whatever is available in Bukhara, also available in Khiva. Okay, to go inside the Khiva Old Town, there are 4 entrances. 2 are chargeable. They charge £15 to go inside. Other 2 are free. Just walk around and you can go inside for free. If you are going through the paid one, just tell them I have a hotel inside and you go in for free. So the name of the restaurant is Khurrazim Art. They basically, the seating is right outside and you get this beautiful view around. Basically you're inside a madrasa, so it's literally you get this have the view from all different sides. You can, and it's one of the best places to be visiting, to be honest. But once you're in the town, you're going to be seeing all the other everything is pretty much in the old town, so definitely stay in the old town if you can. But it's not that big, to be very honest, like Bukhara was. Okay, so inside the old town you have basically a wall all around which you can go and walk on. They will charge you ridiculous amount of money to walk on it. Just walk on one of the sides of the town in the corner, and from there you can just climb up for free, absolutely nothing to pay, and walk around as much as you want and nobody bothers. So I'm in a place called in Khiva. It's literally just about 5 minutes drive outside the old town. It's called Nurullah Boy Saroy. Saroy means palace or a house. It's an awesome place, but the interesting fact is they charge you 50,000, which is about £5. But if you look local, which I do apparently, then it's £1 for you, 10,000. So depends how you want to do it. I'm in Nukus, which is the furthest city in Uzbekistan. There's a couple of things to do here really. There's one museum at the right behind me, and there's another historical city which I'm going to go to after this. But from here I'm going to Aralsea, which I'll give you a next update on. Overall, on the road on the route here, basically we saw a dead camel on the road. So if you are driving, watch out for camels, definitely. Some car basically hit the camel and we found a dead camel, but we didn't see the car. So I think the reason why it's worth visiting is one, this is the only thing there is to do here. Second, is because this guy has basically hidden all of the art which Stalin did not like in Russia, and all of that art was kept hidden in this city, and Russia wasn't that interested in it at that time. But now all of been brought out and put nicely in a museum and stuff. Russia have offered apparently $2 million for these paintings, and they've refused to give it to them. And they've also offered to return Uzbek thrones and stuff like that, which is in St. Petersburg Museum, in return for everything which is in there. There's a lot of Russian avant-garde stuff over here, you know, loads of old paintings, the unknown painters and stuff like that. So, but they've refused to give. So it's interesting, worth visiting. All right, so I've basically just, I'm going to add a few of the pictures here for you to just have a look and get the idea of what exactly are you going to see inside this museum. There's loads of different paintings from unknown artists, and if you are interested in paintings and art, definitely awesome place to visit. And there is, other than that, there is quite a lot of ethnographic stuff. There is a bath where they found a dead body inside. A queen was buried inside, and there's a grave kind of thing, so you can actually go and visit there. They don't allow you to take pictures of that, but other than that, there are a few really interesting paintings, so definitely please do visit if you are in Nukus. Alright, so the second thing worth visiting in Nukus is a graveyard, Narcopolis, and the views from here is absolutely gorgeous. It's about 25 minutes drive from the city. It's just a graveyard all around. just basically visit, travel around. I just walk around the graveyard basically, and quite a lot of graves are actually dug in, or they are quite kind of like with the rain they've actually fallen inward, and you can actually see skeletons, you can see bones. So it's really interesting actually to walk around here. You can see quite a lot of graves are actually dropped inside, and they put like a board on top. Basically that's the board that will carry you on over here, and all around you can see quite a lot of graves and loads of bones. So if you're interested in human bones, then this is the place for you. You can see another one over here. It's just been dropped in. I'm in the town of Moynak. This is the last town, and this is where RLC used to be. No longer the case. RLC is about 2 hours drive from here, and met a lot of people from Mongol Rally. There's a little lake behind it, and the town is literally behind there. If you wanted to know more about the road conditions and stuff like that, they are pretty cool. But Mongol Rally forums and stuff like that, they can tell you a lot more information about that, but they don't come this far as this place. But to come here you need you can come here all the way in a normal car, but from here onwards you need a 4x4. So continue the journey, and I'll give you an update on RLC now, which is about 3 hours drive from here. You know what's the most interesting thing right now is that in this town I was expecting nothing to be here, right? Absolutely nothing, because it's like dead and all that. They're saying that RLC killed everything, but there is a presidential helicopter here, and there's a lot of army around, and everyone is building. That's the helicopter. They are in the town. I noticed a lot of buildings were being built, and when I spoke to somebody, what are you doing here? They said it's a top secret. So I don't know how much of it is a secret, but they are building here like mad. They do want to bring the RLC back, but if that's gonna work or not takes a few years. But the president is really interested in bringing it back, so that's interesting. Okay, so they basically did the Russians cut the water supply to the RLC in 1980s. This is how it used to look like, and today it looks something like this. So the RLC is pretty much, most of it is dried out. This used to be the port, which is Moynak, and you can see on the port there are some boats there, they used to be. So there are these massive boats at the back, which used to be the port. So the port used to be here, the sea used to be here. This used to be a very important town. No longer the case. To go to the sea is about 4 hours drive, about 150 kilometers in the desert, and that's where the sea actually exists now today. In 1980s it used to be here. So the Russians basically cut the supply to feed the cotton, the cotton fields, so they can produce cotton for the Russia. And alright, so I've made it to the RLC. 4 hours of hardcore drive. If you are thinking that you can make it here in a normal car, forget it. Don't even try it. Maybe you can do 75% of the way, but in the end it's all sand, and you need a 4x4 to be very honest. And I did in 4x4. There are some flamingos here. It smells a little bit like rotten fish, and I made it in a Land Cruiser, which is quite a tricky job to start with, even in a Land Cruiser. If you're thinking from Newcastle renting a car and making it here, don't think about it. It's not a good idea. 75% of the way I was going to recommend that you do that, but no longer. But it's actually quite beautiful. I'm gonna take my clothes off and jump in. On my way to RLC, on my way back from RLC actually, I noticed that there is a lot of gas places. They are actually discovering, they found gas over here. So it's just all drama and fuss they're creating, that okay, we're gonna bring RLC back, we're gonna try and refill it. I don't think so. Once you found gas, this is on a bed of RLC basically, that's the road, yeah. If you found gas over here, why would you want to bring RLC back? You have the whole gas infrastructure. There's thousands of pipes over here going around. So they found gas, they're happy with that. Why would they want to bring RLC back? It doesn't make any sense at all. Yeah, of course there's drama and all of that, media, but that's not really true. Okay, a little bit further on to that point, that they've actually found oil and gas on the seabed of RLC, both on Kazakhstan side and Uzbekistan side, and they're making millions out of that. So for them to say that we're going to bring RLC back is all just rubbish, to be honest. That's never going to happen. All right, so behind me you can see the graveyard of the ship graveyard. So that's one of them. There's another one there. There's a row of boats basically, and that's the destruction RLC not being here has caused. So I'm in Samarkand now, in Khwaja Abdul something mausoleum, which is a little bit outside town, but it's definitely worth coming here. It's about half an hour walk, or you can drive in about 10 minutes, and it's right, there's a courtyard, and it's quite beautiful all around, to be honest. Alright, so outside town there's a place called Mirza Ulubeg Observatory. That's right behind me. A bit boring, to be honest. I don't recommend you come here. It's just few pictures, history, blah blah blah. Same thing on this side. There's a little hole kind of thing inside. I can just show you so you don't have to waste your time coming here. You can just see it from here. And that's it. So that's the picture of the thing inside the observatory. I don't really understand what this is, to be honest. But this is the video of Registan Square in Samarkand. If you are in Samarkand, you definitely have to go to Registan Square. But a tip over here is that there are 3 different mausoleums next to each other, mosque, mausoleum and all that. But people would just say if you visit one, you visited all of them, but that's not the case. They're all completely different. Try and visit all of them, and they're absolutely stunning, as you can see in the pictures in the video here. After this, I went to there was a show inside the Registan Square. This is just a quick couple of minutes.